Guess what we've got next for you on CITV?
Tricky one.
Disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, while I'm...
Is of Woof.
Introducing Baby to the latest 3 for 2s at Boots.
Guess where we're going? Crufts! Yes, Crufts! We're all going to Crufts. Aren't we, Daddy?
Of course, sweetheart. As soon as I've found my socks.
Crufts 98, the best of the very best for all the family.
Alfie, why is everything all wobbly? Build a bloke.
And then they disappear. Fizzing away. Melting away.
Thanks, boys.
Yes. Disappear.
Skips. They physically melt and then they disappear.
Here comes trouble. Did he just mention us? Mike and Angelo.
What do you think?
Ooh-ah-ah.
Are you completely out of your tree?
Who dares to question the madness of CITV's biggest nut-nuts?
It's a masterpiece, Mike and Angelo.
Thursday, 4:15 on CITV.
Will Sam ever catch bugs? I'll get you, you pesky rabbit. The only surefire way to catch bugs is on CITV Thursdays, 4:40.
And now CITV is proud to announce the return of the award-winning Woof.
Too hot, were you?
What?
Your pyjamas are on the floor.
Must have been. I had the weirdest dream.
I don't think any of us slept too well. There were rather a lot of strange noises in the night. Anyway, up you get. Don't want to be late first day.
Morning, Jim. All set.
Yes, Dad. Dad, do you ever have really realistic dreams?
Oh, sometimes, I suppose.
I mean, so realistic that you're surprised to find you're back in your own bed at the end of it.
Was this last night? What was the dream?
I don't know. There was this dog wandering around
Dog? Well, where was it wandering?
through the streets. He seemed to be lost, and it was as if I was a dog.
Oh.
I've worked out what the noise was last night. It's that flap thing. Something must have got into the kitchen.
Oh, yes. Quite a bit of mud, actually.
Where? We'll have to put a new panel in. I don't want every cat in the neighbourhood thinking they can drop in.
I'll do something about it tonight.
Have you got everything, love?
Sorry?
Your lunchbox is in the fridge.
Thanks, Mum.
I gave you an extra chop bar to keep your strength up. Jim?
Sorry?
Didn't you sleep?
I think it's pretty scary. First day at a new school.
You won't be worried, will you?
I meant myself, actually. I get the impression that Victoria Jessup is quite a demanding head teacher.
Still, it's a promotion. And she'll be okay. If you have any problems, dial 999 and I'll come and sort her out.
Thanks, love. Right. I will see you in assembly.
That'll be for you, Jim.
What?
It'll be Brian come to take you to school.
Right. Mum?
You're carrying your duvet, Jim. Are you okay?
Yes. It's just...
What? Look, well, hurry up. It's not fair to keep him waiting.
Hi. Am I a bit early? No. I'm Brian. Dad says I'm to take you to school and look after you and everything. Thanks. So, if you want to know where the toilets are or anything, you just ask me. I will, thanks. They're on the left inside the main doors. Okay. So, if you're standing this way with the doors behind you, they'd be here. Great. Anything else? I think we should be going. Well, any problems you have, you know who to ask, don't you? I do. Now, if it's something I don't know...
You must be Brian. Haven't seen you since you were little. I hope you didn't mind your dad volunteering you to look after Jim. Well, I expect you've got plenty to talk about.
Bye, Mum. Did you say Mum? I thought you were,
I am. But you better go if you don't want to be late. And thanks, Brian. It's very kind of you.
I mean, you were standing there like that, and I just thought...
Just go, Brian.
You don't think perhaps it was a dream? That's what I've been saying, Brian. I thought it was a dream until I saw the paw marks. Right. You might think this is a bit strange, but when you were making your bed, a dog didn't jump on it, did it? No, Brian. No. It would explain the paw marks, though. It certainly would. Or you could have had a dog that didn't know where to sleep, and it slept in your bed last night and you didn't realise it. Well, that's one mystery cleared up.
I want that homework done, and I don't want any excuses. All right? See you tomorrow, then. Parents. John, come in.
Right.
That is a skateboard, Jessica. It is for riding and causing accidents, not hitting people on the head. So, you're settling in all right after your move?
Yes. Jim seems to be taking it all right, which is the main thing.
And he's happy about starting at a new school?
Well, he was a bit thoughtful this morning, but he'll be fine.
I'll make a point of welcoming him. I'll try and pop into his class just before the break. Is anyone keeping an eye on him?
Brian.
Brian?
Brian Barford?
Oh, poor Jim. Brian's the nicest child in the world, but talk about being a few ladders short of a hamster cage. Who organised that, I wonder?
I did. He's my nephew.
Is he? I suppose he is a bit head in the clouds, but I've always found him to be a thoroughly nice boy, salt of the earth. It's at the time we must be off.
What I'm trying to say, Bron, is I think I was the dog. Yeah. I think I was actually out in the street in the rain last night being a dog. It's the only possible explanation. I have dreams like that. I dreamt I was a chicken once. Laid an egg, beat that. We're just along here.
I might just see if I can catch my dad.
Okay, well, you know where to find me.
Yeah, he'll probably think I'm mad.
No, he won't.
If I tell him I turned into a dog last night?
Don't worry. My dad thinks I say silly things all the time.
Yeah.
You want to know where the staff room is, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know the resources cupboard outside the science room?
Not really.
It's just opposite there. Actually, I usually come in the other entrance if I'm going to the staff room. So, that means walking along the changing room corridor and
I'll find it. Thanks.
Anytime.
I was just checking to see if John Walters' boy was all right. Jim Walters? Well, I thought you were supposed to be looking after him, Brian. Brian? Oh, dear. What can have happened to our new boy? What's going on, Norman?
There's a dog.
What?
It was hiding in the boys' toilet.
Well, we've lost a year 7, so if you could keep a lookout.
I'll kill him.
No, just bring him back to me.
Here, you little varmint! I'll get you!
Here, come here, boy. Quick.
You're a clever dog.
Which way do you go?
Who?
The dog.
Dog? Sorry. You'll be safe in here. I'll be back. I'm just really late for school. I hope I'm not going to find fleas in my sports kit.
Brian, have you seen Jim?
Oh, yes, miss.
Where?
At his house. We walked to school together.
Yes. Have you seen him since then?
Oh, yes, miss.
What?
When we got to school.
What time was that?
School starts at 9:15, miss.
I'm aware of what time school starts, Brian. Have you seen Jim since you arrived and school started?
Not really. He went to look for his dad, miss. I gave him directions.
Ah. Thanks. Brian, what are you doing here?
I told Jim I'd wait for him.
I can't believe that your knowledge of the Reformation is such that you can afford to wait anywhere except in your history lesson.
Pardon, miss?
Classroom, go.
You haven't seen a dog, have you?
No.
Hey! Girls aren't allowed in there. Out! And learn to read, miss.
Oh. I was rather hoping he'd be with you.
Who?
Jim. We don't seem to be able to find him.
Jim's missing?
No, it's nothing to worry about. I'm sure he's just wandering the corridors. I suspect that Brian gave him some rather strange directions.
Oh, dear. I knew I should have talked it through more with him. He must be more stressed than I thought.
No, I'm sure he's just muddled.
No, not Jim. I think we ought to start a search.
Well, I think he's probably still looking for you. I will start a school search, but first I'll just pop into his classroom and see if he's found his way back there.
Would you like me to pop home, see if he's gone there?
No, stay here. If he is looking for you, you better be where he expects to find you.
Oh, dear. Hope all these changes haven't been too much for him.
There you are! We've been looking everywhere for you.
Sorry, miss.
And what are you doing in those clothes? Did you think it was PE?
Yes, miss, I did.
I thought it was probably something like that. Well, it's hardly worth going to your class now. You might as well take your break early. I'll tell your father that you're here.
Thank you, miss.
You wanted to see him, didn't you?
Yes, miss.
Well, we'll be having a short staff meeting now. Could it wait till the end of the break?
Yes, miss.
You do know that's a girl's hockey skirt you're wearing?
Peppers.
Everything. There's been a dog on the loose, and Mr. Linsky says he's gonna kill it. Beat that.
That was me.
Why would you want to kill a dog?
No, I was the dog. It happened again.
You were a dog, just like in your dream. That means Mr. Linsky wants to kill you. Scary.
I'm going to try and catch my dad at the end of break. See if he knows what to do. He might at least be able to stop that mad caretaker.
And to think it could happen at any moment. Amazing.
Listen, if it does, you're not to let my clothes or my bag out of your sight. Being chased is scary, but it's nothing to not having any clothes when you change back.
Okay.
Now, I should get these back for that girl.
Which girl?
She rescued me. She was really nice.
Okay, Jim. All clear.
Hi. I've got your games kit for you.
What?
I found it.
How do you know it's mine?
I read the label.
How did you know my name? They are missing. Where did you find them?
All these questions.
Look, I have to go.
In a second. I don't know what you're up to, but you can tell your friend if he comes near me again, he's dead.
There's the bell.
Bell's gone. We've got to go. Oh, right. You said put your clothes in the bag. And keep it with me. Got it. Hey, what's Mrs. Dunstan going to say when she sees a dog in class? Come on, Jim. You're not coming. Good idea. I'll cover for you. I'll tell her you're late. That should throw her off the scent.
Now, can anybody tell me what I mean by the word erosion?
Sir, there's a dog at the window.
Yes, well, I'm sure if you ignore it, it'll go away. Erosion. Anyone? Karen, if you could go and get the caretaker, please, see if he can get rid of the dog. Erosion. Come along. You should know what this word means.
I think he's trying to tell you something, sir.
All right, settle down. The caretaker will be here in a second.
I can catch him, sir.
No, Garrett, sit down.
Let me.
Would you all sit down, please? Thank you.
You leave it to me, sir. I'll take care of him.
How would you like to tackle
You
this?
get... If you...
Get in! You all sit down! Where do you think you're going?
Quite right, Jamie. And because the belt is made from insulating fabric, it's producing static electricity, which is being transmitted from the ball through Brian's hands up his arms and causing an effective sink of his hair. When I turn off the Van de Graaff generator and earth it, Brian's hair returns to normal.
Didn't hurt a bit.
All right, back to your places, everyone.
What is it now? Did you find your dad? What? No. I don't think he's very keen on dogs at the moment. Well, things can only get better.
The sooner we get into the RSPCA, the better.
I wonder where he came from.
Hmm.
Yes? What are you doing, Brian?
I came to see the dog, miss.
Yeah. Answer machine. I better ring the police station.
Well, he's obviously a stray. Do you know this dog?
The dog, miss?
No, Brian. I meant this South American tapaculo bird. Is he yours?
This dog?
Let's start with the one at your side, shall we?
Well...
Did he come to school with you?
Yes, miss.
Dogs aren't allowed in school, Brian.
I know, miss. I couldn't stop him. He just came with me.
Well, you must be more careful. I can't have my school disrupted like this.
Sorry, miss. I'll talk to Jim about it.
What's Jim got to do with it?
Nothing, sir.
Run along, Brian.
Jim, Brian.
Oh, no. Yes, miss?
I've got someone here you might like to meet.
Yes, miss?
He had a bit of trouble with his dog at first. It was a stray and rather a law unto itself. A bit like that dog today.
Yes, miss.
But in the end, he really got the measure of it. I thought he might be able to help you.
Thanks, miss.
Rex. This is my stepson, Rex.
So, you've stopped being a dog?
Yep.
What? You learned to control it?
No, Michael stopped wanting it. That's what caused it, you see. Someone really wanted the dog.
I wanted an Alsatian or a Rottweiler. You know, something decent. But I got Rex.
It's good fun as well, you know.
Apart from changing them at the wrong time.
That's why I was telling you about the bags of clothes. You've got to hide them everywhere you can.
They're the two most important things, the clothes and the code.
What was it? One woof for yes, 2 woofs for no. So how do you say? Do you fancy some fish and chips?
No, it only works if the answer's yes or no.
The answer's yes. I do want some fish and chips. I'll explain it.
What are your parents like?
My dad's really cool.
It's more Jim's, really, since he's the one that's going to be the dog.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, Rex was dead lucky. His dad never noticed anything.
You don't want someone that's always checking up on you.
What does your dad do?
He's the deputy head at school.
Is your mum on the ball at all?
Well, she's a policewoman.
Well, as long as you've got someone else you can rely on.
Yeah, someone who's really sharp, who can think ahead, work out where to put clothes in advance, and generally be a bit of a hero.
Well, I don't know that many people yet. He's got me.
Anyway, we better be off. You'll be fine, Jim.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks anyway.
Poor kid hasn't got a chance.
What are they up to?
Collecting clothes for the charity shop, apparently.
They're filling all those little bags. Why don't they use just one big one?
Don't ask. He was very strange today. He kept disappearing.
He'll make other friends, don't worry. Can't be easy having Brian looking after you.
No.
It'll be very useful, won't it? What? All the advice they gave you. All that. Yeah. There's a lot to do. I don't know how we're going to remember half of it. Leaving clothes, talking in a weird code. No. But don't worry, I'll work on it. You can leave it to me. Wonder who the person is. What? Who wants a dog so badly they've made me become one? It's not me, Jim, honest. If we could just find that out, we'd be getting somewhere. I mean, I quite like dogs. But it has to be someone near enough to influence me. But who? A faithful friend. Now you can run free. It must be her.
Tomorrow on CITV, Teddy's in a bit of a jam in the Forgotten Toys. Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Mike and Angelo.
This is the nerve centre of Patent Pending Pizzas PLC.
And another episode of...
Yes!
But next, How Goes To?
It would be wool. I'd borrow Gemma's top and look, she'll kill me.
Bleach will fix it.
Bleach! On wool!
Relax, it's ace. It's approved by Ul-Haq. It's even for delicate woolies like this. Just cover the stain, then add the rest with your detergent. There.
Wow. Ace job, Auntie. Hey, that's mine. You can't borrow that.
Ace Gentle Bleach. So safe, it's even approved by Ul-Haq.
Feeling itchy for something scratchy?
What do you prescribe, Dr. Scratchy?
The jungle drums of Jumanji. It's not fair. Sabrina and this Scratch and Go, Saturday mornings, 9:25, only on CITV.
Don't miss that on Saturday. But now it's time to go out and about with the fabulously clever How Goes To team.
This is Hotel Oscar Whiskey 2, or to put it another way, today, How Goes To the airport.
Shall I bring it down, Mr. Dinage?
If you would, Captain Jones.
Well, marvellous bit of parking, Captain Jones. Well done, old boy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dinage.
Do you mind if I ask you one thing?
Certainly.
What happened to the rest of it?
I'll see you in the terminal building.
Look forward to it, old boy. Oh, mind that propeller.
How can you avoid getting a close shave from a propeller? An aeronautical how for you two. Jerry is at 5 o'clock. Chocks away, Fredders.
Rather, chocks away, Orders. Yes, chocks away, Tommy.
Yippee, ace of a how, this one. Propellers, you see. It's all about that. You see, before the invention of the jet engine, the only way to propel the aeroplane through the air was by use of a propeller such as this. Problem is, when a propeller gets up to operational speed, you see, it becomes invisible. See what I mean? Problem is, you see, something this side, of course, somebody walks into it, clogs them on the head, they fall over dead. How do you avoid that happening? Well, very simple answer. All you do is you paint the tips in another colour. Red's probably a good one to do so. Contact algae, please. Thus demonstrating, you see, the red circle, as you can see here, whipping around and around. The person approaching the aeroplane sees the red circle, says, ha ha, there's a propeller going round there, it won't walk into it, OK? Contact ginger, please. So that basically is how now you see it and now you don't.
Chocks away, Borders.
By the way, where are they, Freddo?
As you say, now you see it, now you don't. That's how. Let's see what we've got here. Moscow.
Malta.
Havana.
Cardiff.
Glasgow.
Iceland. How do they celebrate winter in Iceland?
I don't know. How do they celebrate?
Well, let's do as the Icelandic people do. Come with me to Iceland because they have a party.
A party!
Oh, there's not much of a
terrible
party,
party.
is it?
It's all dark.
Yeah.
Turn your spot lamps on. Right. Now then, you see, the thing about Iceland is it's up near the Arctic Circle, and because the Earth is on a tilt, during the summer months, the Earth is actually tilted towards the sun, so Iceland is in almost perpetual daylight, the land of the midnight sun. Whereas during the winter months, the Earth is actually tilted away from the sun. And so Iceland not only has darkness during the nights, but during the day as well. So to get through these grim winter months, they have a festival called Thorrablot. During the festival of Thorrablot, the people of Iceland eat some strange and exotic foods.
Oh.
For instance, try some of this. It's called Hrutspungur.
Hrutspungur.
Yeah, try that. Good?
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
What is it?
Well, it's parts of a ram which are pickled in whey.
Which particular parts?
Don't ask for it, don't ask.
Oh.
Or if you didn't like that, you might want to try some of this, which is actually called svio.
That looks better.
Svio?
Try some svio, yeah?
Svio.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that taste like?
It's unusual.
I prefer this one.
Do you
Yeah?
really?
Yeah,
What
definitely.
actually is it?
Well, Fred, svio is, in fact, the skull of a sheep, sawn in half, boiled, and eaten fresh or pickled.
Oh.
No? All right, well, the pièce de résistance during this festival is actually called Hakarl. Try some out, Fred.
Oh!
Carol, do you have some Hakarl?
Oh, good grief.
No?
That stinks.
What is it?
Well, Hakarl is actually shark, and what they do, you see, sharks actually store poison in their skin. So to get rid of the poison, the Icelandic people bury the shark for 3 to 6 months. Now, it rots, it putrefies. What that does is actually remove the poison from the skin and makes it safe to eat.
You've not tried any of this?
Well, you seem to have forgotten, Fred. I'm vegetarian, mate. I don't eat meat.
Oh,
All the more for you.
Hey, Gareth, it's been a great party.
Yeah,
Thanks
we
ever so much.
must do it again next year, maybe.
See you again next year,
For
eh?
a block,
Hey,
yes.
Carol, fancy a curry?
Too right.
So how do the people of Iceland celebrate winter? Well, with some very strange and exotic foods.
I like travelling light, don't you, Gareth?
Yes, Fred. So do I.
How can you chop down a tree with a credit card?
You need a saw or a chainsaw to chop down a tree, Fred.
You're going to use your credit card to pay someone to chop down the tree for you.
On the right lines, Carol. I'm not a great believer in credit cards, but I've just got my few cards here. These days, credit cards and credit card holders come in all sorts of shapes and guises and do all sorts of unusual things. This one here, for example, is a calculator. And moving on, this one is one of those television zappers for changing the programme on the TV.
Very useful.
Here's a little clever one. This is a laser pointer.
That's the red dot there.
Yes, it's clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't think how that one got here. That's fast. This one is a torch. That's ingenious. But here's my pièce de résistance, my multi-purpose tool, the Swiss Army knife of credit cards. It does so many things. It's got a little pointer there, like that.
The toothpick, isn't it?
A toothpick. Tweezers for the nose or wherever else you want.
Fred. Eyebrows.
Here's a good one here as well. Look at this. That's a bottle opener and a tin opener.
Very handy.
Clever. But, I'll just pop that one back in for safety. Here's the real crux of the whole matter, the really clever bit. Watch this. There's my saw, and I use that for chopping down trees.
Fred, that's not a tree, it's a stick of celery.
Well, it's a small tree, but then it's a small saw. But that's how you chop down a small tree with a credit card.
Get in. Oh, dear. You having trouble, Fred? Are you sure you've got enough clothes? Yes, Fred, I bet I've got as many outfits in my small bag as you have in your great big suitcase.
Oh, yes. How come?
I'll explain. Have you got that polythene bag full of clothes I asked you to bring?
Yes.
Good. Now look at this, you see, Fred. A bag of clothes is just full of air. Nice big fluffy jumpers.
Like my suitcase.
Exactly. What you need to do is to suck the air out. Give us your vacuum cleaner. You've brought it, haven't you?
Yeah, I wondered why you wanted that. What are you going to do with it?
Watch this. What you need on your bag is a valve that only works one way. It lets all the air out, but won't let air back in again. Turn your vacuum on. Watch what happens. You can see that the vacuum is sucking all the air out of the bag and all of the air out of those big fluffy jumpers and clothes. And once you remove all that air, you don't have a big fluffy packet anymore. You have a nice airtight, closed, tight packet. You simply seal the valve, turn off the vacuum cleaner, and look at that, Fred. With that kind of packing, you can get a lot more clothes in a small bag.
Very clever. One problem. You wouldn't normally go on holiday with a vacuum cleaner, would you?
Don't be daft, Fred. You do it at home before you leave.
And what about when you're coming back?
OK, you'd have to buy a bigger suitcase to come back.
Typical of him. Head like a vacuum, full of marshmallow.
Funny you should say that, Fred.
How can your eyes be bigger than your stomach? A rewarding how, this one. Who likes marshmallows?
Yes,
me. Okay, well, here I've got some nice marshmallows.
Oh, yes. Oh, they're
here I have some even
whoa, look at them, big ones.
juicier marshmallows. Now,
Yes.
Freddie, you're a very kind, warm-hearted, generous, lovely to be with person, aren't you? So you won't mind if I give Gareth one of these?
Yes!
You must do what you see fit, Carol.
Okay, here we are, Gareth.
Hey, hang on a minute!
I'll just take the
Hang
lid
on.
off, and there you are.
Hang on, I want
Deflated, just
my
like
big
you, mate.
marshmallow back, please.
You want it back? Not a problem. You see, marshmallows, if you look at them scientifically, are sort of spongy inside and elastic, and inside they have pockets of air, just like tiny balloons. Now, how do you blow up a balloon?
Well, you put air inside it.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay.
There's another way, and that's by taking air from outside the marshmallow. So, if I pop this balloon back in here, you'll see what happens. Now, what I'm going to do is pump air out of the container, and you'll see the balloon and the marshmallows growing in size because I'm reducing the air pressure around them. And basically, that is how they'll stay until I want to get hold of one again.
But what are they actually used for?
What are these used for? Well, these are used to keep food fresh. They create a sort of vacuum seal. And that basically is how sometimes your eyes can be bigger than your stomach.
I always enjoy the exotic food they serve abroad, except for pasta, of course, and I don't like curry and rice. And I'm not too keen on bean sprouts, sushi, paella, risotto, sauerkraut, haggis, pastrami on rye, anything in vine leaves, couscous, spaghetti.
Fred, apart from one or two exceptions, you always were a very adventurous eater.
International. How odd is it to eat insects?
Insects? That's disgusting. Yuck.
Precisely, and that is the reaction of most Europeans, but in fact in most of the rest of the world it isn't odd at all. Let me show you exactly what I mean. For example, in Asia, and that includes parts of China and Japan as well, they are very partial to black crickets, to silk moth chrysalis, and also to the giant cockroach, readily available and full of nourishment. In India, they love the giant locust, again, full of protein. I'll have a plate of number 37, please, the locust vindaloo. In Australia, the Aborigines are very fond of the witchetty grub, the bogan moth, and indeed the grasshopper, readily available. The Middle East now, and again, like the Indians, they are very fond of locusts. The Africans adore the hawk moth caterpillar. And there they are. Again, eat them in their thousands. The Americas, many people like giant mealworm. There's some mealworms there. In Colombia and other parts of South America, they adore fried ants, and they take them to the cinema in bags, rather like we take, I don't know, popcorn.
You're joking?
No, it's true. And then the CIS, they like housefly pupae, and here they are down there. So you see, look what's left. Europe and Scandinavia. We don't eat insects, the rest of the world do. So it isn't odd at all. And just to prove how odd it is or it isn't, I've prepared myself rather a delicious meal. In fact, we can all enjoy this. A nice little mixture here. We've got giant hawk moths, we've got mealworms, and we've got some delicious little locusts. Carol?
Absolutely never.
Never?
No.
Toppy?
You seem to have forgotten, Fred, I'm a vegetarian.
Ah, OK, well, I'll enjoy this meal on my own then. We'll start with a bit of hawk moth first of all. It's actually meaty, rather nice. Try a bit of mealworm. And a little bit of locust.
Oh, Fred. Oh.
Delicious. And now, moving on to my pudding.
Oh, no.
Brandy snap surprise. Brandy snaps filled with wax moth larvae and cream.
Oh, Fred.
That's how odd it is to eat insects. It's not odd at all. Come on, Gareth, you got everything. Tickets?
Check.
Passport?
Check.
Suntan oil?
Check.
Malaria pills?
Check.
Swimming costume?
Check.
Mask?
Mask? Yeah. No.
Now, how can you stop a Bengal tiger from sneaking up behind you and attacking?
It is a really worrying problem, Matt. I'm glad you've got the answer.
What, where you live?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, OK. Well, actually, Bengal tigers live in India, and there used to be around 40,000 of them. But due to very heavy poaching, there are now only 4,000. But they still cause a lot of problems. Now, in one particular area, which is called the Sundarban region, there are only 500 of these tigers. But every year, they kill up to 100 people.
It's a fair ratio.
Yes, it is. So obviously there has to be some answer to this. So the government have two official solutions. Now, the first one has to do with the fact that these tigers have been forced into smaller and smaller areas. So they start to come across human beings much more often, and they're losing their fear of people. So what the government want to do with the first solution is reteach them this fear of a human being. So what they have is an electrified model of a human being plonked in the field. When the tiger comes along, attacks from behind and gets an electric shock, is hurt, and hopefully is retaught this fear of a human being. So, Freddie, as the tiger...
I'm a tiger.
You're the tiger. Just attack, please.
No, I'll take your word for it. What's the other official solution?
The other official solution has to do with the fact that tigers only attack people from behind. So, Freddie.
Yeah.
I'm working in the fields.
Yeah.
Attack me.
I'm going to attack you.
Working, digging. Digging.
Whoa. Hey, that was fantastic. Well, what happened there, Carol?
Well, I'm actually wearing a mask. And that's what I showed him. And that frightened him off, can you believe? And the reason is because tigers come up from behind, they see a face on the back and the front, they get confused and they wander away.
Does that really
really works. These are people working in the fields in India and wearing the masks, and apparently it does work. But the problem is, you see, every so often there comes along a nasty, horrible, vicious, ferocious tiger.
Not frightened?
Nope.
What do you do then?
You have to get a really nasty, horrible, revolting solution to the problem.
A really, really frightening, awful picture.
Yes, and here it is! I told you it worked. And that is how you can stop a Bengal tiger from sneaking up behind.
I don't fancy that. Maybe we should try somewhere a bit safer.
Well, Wales is very nice at this time of the year, Fred.
I don't speak the language.
Drian and Wilfred.
What did he say?
Sut ydych chi'n siarad Cymraeg?
What are you talking about?
how do you speak Welsh?
Dwi'n siarad Cymraeg a dipyn bach, Gareth.
Oh, da iawn, Carol. Ti'n siarad Cymraeg, wrth gwrs. Yeah.
That's all very well, because she's one of them. She is Welsh.
Yeah.
I'm not Welsh. I can't speak Welsh.
Don't worry, Fred. I can teach you how to speak Welsh.
Could you?
Yeah. But first, let us discuss the complexities of the English language, a very tricky language to read. Now, Fred, you're English. Can you read that word for me, please?
Slough.
Slough. Right. So, how do you say that?
Tough.
Yeah, well, why don't you say that? Towel. Let's try another one. Surely you'd expect tough to be written like that. But no, it isn't. OK, how do you pronounce that?
That's slough.
Yeah, but you don't spell slough like that. You spell it like that, don't you? Which is the same as slough. It's just far too complicated. Now, Welsh is slightly less complicated. If you can read baby language, read phonetics, you can read Welsh. Because the Welsh alphabet goes A, B, K, H, D.
What about the two L's, the double L's?
All right, double L is one letter in Welsh, and this is how you say it. You put your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Charlie? No. Have we got lots of that paint?
With a lisp, perhaps. It goes like this. Try it, Fred. Perfect. OK, let's try and read some Welsh. Now, said ooh. So what have we got here? Oosh. Ooh. Whoosh. Very good. Whoosh. Very good. Very good. OK, let's try it with another letter in front as well. A P. P. Ooh. Push. Push. Very good. Very good.
No, we're not, you see, because you're giving me all the kids' stuff. But, I mean, Welsh is full of long words, isn't it?
Oh, you shouldn't be afraid of the long words. No? Words like this, you mean? All you have to do with them is break them down into smaller bits, into their syllables. For instance, that says llan. Quite right. Llan. And that says...
Ta.
Yeah, and that says...
Cilio.
So all in one, Fred?
Llan to Cilio.
Perfect. There's only one thing to do now, you know.
What's that?
Take him to Wales. Come with me.
Yes, come on.
You see, in Wales, we've got this town with an enormously long name.
I've heard of it.
And on the railway station of that town is an enormously long sign.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach you how to pronounce that town, OK?
Me?
Yeah. Carol, here we go. Ready?
This is what it's like.
Llanfair, Pwllgwyn, Gillgo, Gerwch, Llandrobwys, Santicilio, go.
Great, lads. Great.
No, Fred, come here. Don't be afraid. Carol, can you help? Can you flip the words over?
Can.
You see, what I'm going to do is break this big long word down for you, Fred, into lots of little bits of words.
Little bits of words.
Yeah, and teach you how to say each of those bits of the words, and then you should be able to say the whole word.
And we do this together?
No, Fred, you'll do it on your own. I'll help you, though.
You'll help me?
you. Yeah, we can manage it. OK.
OK.
Yeah, you ready, Carol? Have you got there yet?
I'm ready.
Very good.
Okay.
Right. OK, we'll start with the first one. You've seen that before?
Easy peasy, Toppy. Llan.
Llan, very good, Fred, very good. No, Vair. Right. Try that one. Puff. Very good, Fred. Puff. Keep coming, Fred.
Gwyn.
Very good, Fred.
Gwyn.
Yeah. Try that one.
Gill.
No, it's double L.
Gill.
Gish. Very good, Fred, yeah?
Gish.
This one.
Goggery.
Very good, Fred.
Yes.
Go on, Fred, try that one.
Corin.
Chwyrn. Yes, it helps with the hand. Try that one. Drobble. Another double L, you've seen it before. Llan. Hey, how about that one?
Ticilio.
Ticilio. Yeah, and that one?
Gogo.
And the last one?
Gok.
Yay!
That's it,
Fred.
lovely.
That's how Hal went to the airport, and that's how for now.
Hey, Toppy, that's our plane, isn't it?
Here's one last how for you, Fred.
What's that?
How are we going to get home?
Computers everywhere. Within each of them, worlds, systems, cities, and within each city, 1,000 adventures. Are you ready for the next generation of Reboot?
Chaos will always triumph over order.
Thursdays, 4:45, only on CITV.
I'll be looking forward to that tomorrow. Well, sadly, that's all for me today. But don't forget to join us again tomorrow on CITV at 3:30. See you then.
It's a new series. Coming soon. Crazy Cottage, coming soon on CITV.
He's Bud, he's Babs, and he's our best mate. Yo, Fridge!